I'm not a saint. Me too. What can I do? Should I be afraid? Why? It's wonderful. And I look wonderful for my age anyway.
Sophia Loren, the legendary icon of world cinema, was once the most desired woman on the planet. She stood at the pinnacle of fame, surrounded by historic awards and the admiration of millions. Time, though, spares no symbol of beauty. Today, the life of Italy's enduring monument presents a completely different picture. Behind the closed doors of her luxurious Swiss villa lies a quiet and melancholy reality, one defined by an almost extreme stillness. A series of hardships and the solitude of old age now surround the woman, who once commanded immense influence. As of mid-2026, Sophia Loren is 91 years old and living in a secluded villa peacefully situated near Lake Geneva in Switzerland. The residence has become the actress's entirely private world throughout recent years. The social engagements once inseparable from her name have given way to a life of complete tranquility. Red carpets and intercontinental flights no longer appear in the daily routine of the woman who once embodied 20th century beauty. The elegant Geneva villa now serves as a fortress protecting her privacy from the outside world. Her appearances in public became increasingly rare before stopping altogether, marking a new and challenging chapter in her life. In September 2023, a serious medical incident occurred that completely altered the course of Sophia Loren's otherwise peaceful existence. While at home, she suffered a severe fall in her bathroom. The accident, occurring at the age of 89, left the Italian screen legend with significant physical injuries. She was rushed to emergency care immediately with multiple complex traumas. Doctors determined that the actress had sustained several fractures to her hip, including severe damage involving the femur. The condition required the medical team to perform emergency surgery within the first hours to stabilize the injured areas. The major operation was intense but timely, helping Sophia Loren overcome the initial critical stage. Her son, director Edoardo Ponti, remained constantly by her bedside afterward, closely monitoring his mother's recovery together with her doctors. After leaving the hospital, the legendary star faced an extraordinarily difficult and demanding recovery journey. At an age approaching a full century, the body's ability to regenerate bone tissue declines dramatically, turning physical therapy into a painful series of challenges. The actress had to relearn the most basic steps under the close supervision of leading medical specialists. Although the surgery was successful, the consequences of the accident left lasting effects on Sophia Loren's health. Her former freedom of movement became permanently limited, making independent mobility without assistance impossible. In an official statement sent to admirers after her condition stabilized, Sophia Loren shared, "I need a little time to rest and regain my strength, but I am very grateful for everyone's concern." The statement reflected her resilience, even though medical reality was far harsher than those brief words of reassurance suggested. By May 2026, the reality of life for Italy's most celebrated beauty had narrowed considerably within the grounds of her Geneva residence. Every aspect of her daily routine depended upon the continuous support of a medical and caregiving team available around the clock. The graceful movements that once captivated movie screens worldwide have been replaced by slow, careful motion within the familiar surroundings of her home. Her complete absence from major international film events no longer surprises industry professionals or the general public. This changing physical reality has shaped a quiet existence far removed from the dazzling glory of her years beneath the spotlight. The physical limitations are only the outer layer of a far more challenging reality for Sophia Loren. For a woman who spent an entire lifetime surrounded by applause and admiration from millions, the deepest sadness at 91 comes from a far more relentless law of time: the absence of cherished companions. Voluntary solitude. Sophia Loren has lived with an immense emotional void since 2007. That was the year her husband of more than half a century, renowned producer Carlo Ponti, passed away. His death was far more than an ordinary family loss. It marked the end of the most emotionally fulfilling chapter of the Italian actress's life. When international media repeatedly questioned Whether she might seek a new companion to fill that emptiness, the woman often regarded as the greatest beauty of the 20th century offered a decisive answer. Sophia Loren declared publicly that she would never remarry. Her statement that the heart cannot love anyone else became a solemn vow beginning years of quiet devotion and unwavering loyalty to the memory of her late husband. The sorrow of the legendary star grew even deeper because she found herself carrying the burden of being one of the last survivors of her generation. Living through 9 decades meant witnessing the passing of nearly all her closest co-stars, gifted directors, and longtime contemporaries. Legendary names who helped create the golden age of world cinema alongside her, including Marcello Mastroianni, Vittorio De Sica, and Marlon Brando, are now gone. The gradual disappearance of an entire golden generation left the actress carrying an invisible emotional wound, transforming her into one of the last living witnesses to an era that has permanently faded into history. The veteran star's increasingly private lifestyle is evident in the way she approaches major milestones in her life. In September 2024, Sophia Loren officially celebrated her 90th birthday. Although she was honored by the Treccani Encyclopedia as Person of the Year, she chose to mark the occasion in an exceptionally quiet and private manner. Invitations to grand celebrations and highly publicized tribute events were declined. The actress deliberately avoided media attention, giving up the opportunity to be celebrated before the public in exchange for peaceful moments with her close family. Her commitment to privacy is also reflected in a remarkably personal and disciplined ritual. Sophia Loren maintains the habit of personally burning her private diaries at the end of each year. This extreme practice ensures that her innermost thoughts, hidden emotions, struggles of aging, and deepest secrets disappear forever into ashes. She has firmly refused to expose her inner world to future scrutiny, choosing instead to carry those sacred memories with her in dignity. Her life no longer revolves around social noise, but around quiet reflection within the walls of her home. Looking at this determined privacy, it is easy to forget that the woman living quietly in Switzerland today was once a flame that commanded every gaze in the world's film capitals. To understand the depth of her present silence, one must look back to a time when every step she took could shake international headlines. A crown filled with thorns. Sophia Loren entered the ranks of global superstardom through a major artistic breakthrough during the 1960s. She changed her professional name from Sophia Cicolone to a more internationally recognizable identity as she prepared to conquer the world's film capitals. The peak of the Italian actress's career was marked by her Academy Award victory for Two Women, where she portrayed a resilient mother. The achievement made history as she became the first performer ever to win the Academy Award for Best Actress for a role performed in a language other than English. Alongside widespread praise for her extraordinary talent, the private life of Italy's most celebrated beauty became the center of a prolonged legal and religious controversy. Her deep relationship with film producer Carlo Ponti, who was 22 years older than she was, encountered serious legal obstacles in their homeland. At the time their romance began, Italy still maintained strict laws prohibiting divorce. When the producer sought to establish a married life with the young star, a court in Rome formally accused him of bigamy, a serious criminal offense during that period. The controversy placed the couple at the center of intense criticism as the Vatican became deeply involved. Church-affiliated media outlets repeatedly published articles condemning the relationship, describing it as an affront to traditional family values. To protect both their love and their growing careers, Sophia Loren and the man she loved were forced to leave their homeland and settle in France. They gave up their original citizenship, adopted a new nationality, and endured a long and highly complex legal struggle abroad before their marriage was officially recognized by authorities. Behind the dazzling fame of one of cinema's greatest symbols of beauty, the gifted actress endured quiet personal tragedies during her pursuit of motherhood. Sophia Loren repeatedly faced heartbreaking losses through multiple miscarriages, experiences that severely affected both her physical and emotional well-being. Medical specialists in Europe concluded that her body was experiencing major hormonal complications, requiring an extremely strict treatment plan if she hoped to carry a pregnancy successfully. To protect the child, she longed for the celebrated film star set aside all unfinished projects and entered a deeply personal biological struggle. She accepted complete bed rest in a specially equipped medical hotel suite in Switzerland for many months, limiting nearly all physical movement to reduce the risk of losing the pregnancy. That quiet determination and perseverance eventually brought success when she gave birth to her first son, Carlo Ponti Jr., in 1968, followed 5 years later by the birth of her second son, Eduardo Ponti, in 1973. Even the heights of professional triumph and family happiness achieved after so much hardship were not the peaceful ending to Sophia Loren's turbulent life. Just as the world seemed convinced she had everything, an unexpected legal storm arrived, pushing the most powerful woman on the silver screen into a place where no spotlight could reach: the stain of imprisonment. Sophia Loren faced a shocking turning point that shook the international media world in 1982. This was the moment the global cinema icon was officially required to serve a 17-day prison sentence at a women's jail in Caserta, Italy. The sentence stemmed from a long-running investigation related to allegations of errors in declaring her personal financial obligations to her homeland's tax authorities, dating back to 1974. The sight of a Hollywood A-list star behind bars became an event that attracted an unprecedented number of reporters in the country. The detention setting was recorded as extremely tense, with thousands of cameras and admirers surrounding every entrance and exit of the prison to witness the fall of an idol. Throughout her sentence, the most beautiful woman in Italy had to adapt to a life stripped completely of freedom, spending long, lonely days inside a cramped detention space fully separated from her former world of luxury. This serious legal shock left a deep emotional wound in the actress's mind. Even so, her search for justice did not stop there, as her legal team continued filing appeals to clear their client's reputation. It took more than 30 years of persistent legal struggle before the Italian Supreme Court issued its final ruling in 2013, officially recognizing errors in the old verdict and declaring Sophia Loren completely innocent of the tax evasion accusations from the past. The consequences of the 1982 imprisonment, though, pushed a turning point change in the celebrated actress's personal direction. She actively decided to reduce her appearances in major Hollywood film projects as much as possible to protect herself and her family from excessive public scrutiny. Instead of continuing to enter fierce award races, the Italian star shifted her focus toward commercial ventures under her personal brand, including the release of high-end eyewear lines and exclusive perfume collections that achieved major revenue success. At the same time, the former screen legend devoted her precious time entirely to accompanying and raising her two sons in the most complete educational environment possible. Her gradual retreat from the spotlight did not reduce her far-reaching influence on cinema. On the contrary, it elevated her status into that of an immortal monument. In 1991, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences decided to present Sophia Loren with an honorary Oscar in recognition of her great pioneering contributions to world cinema. This solemn tribute marked an important shift, moving her away from the position of an active professional actress and officially placing her inside the Temple of Living Legends. The desire to find a peaceful life free from the noise of scandal pushed the Italian star to make the decision to move permanently to Switzerland, choosing a secluded existence to close a long journey filled with storms. After passing through the rises and falls of her career, facing both the launchpad of glory and the shock of imprisonment, Sophia Loren chose a dignified retreat. Still, that resilience and unyielding pride did not appear naturally. They were forged from the deep wounds of an abandoned child inside the ruins of the past. Beginning from the ashes, Sophia Villani Ciccoloni was born on September 20th, 1934, in a hospital for the poor in Rome. From the very beginning, the arrival of this child with noble blood was not welcomed by an official marriage. Her biological father, Riccardo Ciccolone, an engineer from a distinguished background, firmly refused to marry her mother, Romilda Villani. He only agreed to let the child carry his surname while absolutely refusing to accept responsibility for raising her, leaving mother and daughter in poverty and under the harsh rejection of Italian social prejudice at the time. The father's abandonment forced the young mother to carry her child back to her maternal hometown in Pozzuoli, a poor town near the port of Naples. From then on, Sophia Loren's family life was tied to long days of hunger and severe shortages of basic necessities as the Second World War erupted fiercely. Pozzuoli, with its strategic military position along the coast, repeatedly became a target of heavy Allied bombing raids. The heartbreaking air raid sirens and the panicked escapes into railway tunnels for shelter shaped the haunting childhood memories of the young Ciccoloni. During one fierce bombing raid, a stray piece of shrapnel struck the poor child directly in the chin, while she was running for safety, leaving a permanent physical scar on the face of the woman, who would later become a global symbol of beauty. Along with facing the dangers of bombs and constant hunger, the young Ciccolone also had to endure bitter insults about her appearance from the people around her. Because of prolonged malnutrition during the war crisis, her body developed in an unusually thin, frail, and pale way. People in the area often mocked her and called her by the cruel nickname Stuzzicadenti, meaning toothpick, to ridicule a child who is nothing but skin and bones. Even her own mother, in moments of desperation caused by economic deadlock, once made negative judgments about the future of the daughter she considered unattractive and lacking any notable promise. The fateful turning point that completely changed the life of the girl from Pozzuoli came in 1950. Noticing the clear change in her daughter's figure as she entered puberty, her mother gathered every bit of her small savings to enroll her in the national beauty contest Miss Italia. This cultural event was seen as the family's only lifeline to escape extreme poverty in the poor slums. Although the judges did not award the highest crown to the 16-year-old girl because her beauty was too different from the standards of the time, they still decided to create a special title called Miss Elegance to honor her presence. The official recognition at the 1950 beauty contest opened the door for Sophia Ciccolone to leave wounded, war-scarred Pozzuoli and enter the world of art. In the early 1950s, the traditional ideals of Italian beauty favored soft, conventional features that adhered strictly to classic symmetry. Sophia Ciccolone possessed a starkly contrasting allure, characterized by tall stature, striking cheekbones, and piercing, expressive eyes that defied the mainstream aesthetic. The judging panel found themselves captivated by this unconventional magnetic charm, feeling a strong compulsion to acknowledge her undeniable impact on the stage. By inventing the brand new title of Miss Eleganza, they managed to celebrate her unique grandeur without disrupting the established pageant hierarchy. This singular act of appreciation served as a momentous turning point for a teenager who had known mostly hardship. Growing up in Pozzuoli during World War II, Sophia had endured the terrifying realities of frequent bombings, severe poverty, and the social stigma of being born out of wedlock. The war had left deep physical and emotional scars on her hometown and her family. Stepping onto the pageant stage offered a rare, shimmering glimpse of a completely different life. The title acted as a powerful validation of her potential, giving her the confidence to pack her modest belongings and move to Rome alongside her fiercely supportive mother. Rome's famed Cinecittà studios were bustling with international productions, earning the city the nickname Hollywood on the Tiber. Sophia began securing minor roles and extra work in various films to help support her family. During this period of intense hustle, she caught the attention of prominent filmmaker Carlo Ponti. Through sheer determination, rigorous training, and an innate dramatic instinct, the young girl from Pozzuoli transformed her initial pageant recognition into a legendary cinematic career, eventually winning Academy Awards and becoming an enduring global icon of grace and resilience. The poverty and bitterness of being an unwanted child in the past forged a resilient will to survive, preparing her for a lonely journey toward glory. The closing of that dark old chapter also became the beginning of an immortal film legend, a woman who accepted every storm in exchange for proud stillness at the age of 91. From a thin child among the ashes of war, to an immortal symbol of beauty in the film capital, and finally to a proud choice of silence. At 91, Sophia Loren proved that the peak of a life is not eternal noise but peace within the soul after passing through every storm. Her sadness in old age perhaps is only a graceful pause in a grand theatrical symphony that was far too magnificent. If you also feel respect and admiration for the resilient will and dignified retreat of Italy's legend, leave your feelings in the comments so we can share them together. Do not forget to share this video with people who share the same love for cinema and subscribe to the channel, then turn on the notification bell so you will not miss the next in-depth stories. Thank you for accompanying us and listening.